corporations. And as I'm coming in today, I'm reading that Meta, Microsoft, these companies that are worth trillions of dollars are laying off 10% of their workforce. They're making more profits than they have ever made, but they don't have enough money to pay their workers. Our system is broken, and that is what we are fighting back against. That's it. Maybe I should have started. My name is Michael Roth. Former leader at the United States Small Business Administration, where in 6 months I delivered more for New Jersey than Tom Kane Jr. has in a quarter of a century representing us. I wish he had given me a higher bar than that. The last time I was in front of you, I know you all were, as was I, riding high off of the incredible No King's Day topics. But I bet you're coming in today feeling frustrated, angry, disillusioned by the direction of our politics, our country. And I am too. I am infuriated. How could you not be? We have a president who has taken our country into war, our economy into decline, prices through the roof, and corruption to levels we have never seen. We have to stop him. Indivisible Somerset, it is time to lock in. Because the only way we have ever changed this country is when a bunch of people who were angry and frustrated and disillusioned came together and decided that we were going to do something about it. And we are going to do something about it when we together beat Tom Kane Jr. this November. But I'm going to tell you that that is not ambitious enough. Because the authoritarianism, it does not start with the masked men in the streets. And you can't beat it by taking out the 100% MAGA Nepo baby Tom Kane Jr. And you don't even get rid of it when Donald Trump is out from presidency. Because authoritarianism comes when our political and economic system is rigged for billionaires and corporations and not for working people. And so it's not enough to just defeat Trump. We have to defeat Trumpism, which means putting something better and stronger in its place. An economy that gives everybody dignity, that gives everybody a fair shot at a life. A politics that people trust, and a government that just very simply works for and by the people and nobody else. And that's why I said to you last time I was here that I believe that Indivisible is the Democratic Party of the future. Because Indivisible is about the people. There are no power structures. It wasn't No King's Day sponsored by Microsoft. It was the people. So I have spent my career reforming the government and the economy to actually work for people. I led a company called Next Street, made it an employee-owned company because I believe in the dignity of workers, and every single dollar of profit went to our employees. And it was also a public benefit corporation, one of the first in the country, because I believe that profit should not be the first motivation of an organization, that it should be for the good of the people. And so we were hired by governors and mayors across the country in times of crisis for them, when their workers, when their factories were being shut down. I was hired by folks like Governor Josh Shapiro, Governor Whitmer in Michigan, to help transition, to help upskill and reskill people into jobs of the future in industries like clean energy. We helped 1 million people across the country transition into higher paying jobs. We got $15 billion of investment into industries of the future. And that's why I was asked to step in and lead at the U.S. Small Business Administration when 6 million small businesses were shut down. when we were in a moment of crisis and I took over from a Trump administration, that this is going to shock you when I say this, but they were leading with equal parts incompetence and cruelty. It's their secret formula. Incompetence, with half of America not knowing where their next paycheck is going to come from. They didn't have the system set up to get the dollars out the door to help people when they needed them. And the cruelty. If you were an immigrant in this country, you were declined funding. Like 11% of immigrants in this country own small businesses that employ people. That's who they're trying to put in warehouses in Morris County. If you were a Planned Parenthood clinic, you were declined funding. If you were somebody with student loan debt, you were declined funding. Anyone who did not fit their perfect mold was rejected. And so I went in and I fought back against Trump. And I won every time. I got funding to immigrants, to Planned Parenthood clinics, to people with student loan debt, to every single person across our main streets, our farms, who actually employ people. I oversaw the Paycheck Protection Program and delivered for 200,000 small businesses, saving 1 million jobs in New Jersey alone. Take a risk. Did anybody in this room get access to Paycheck Protection Program funding or PPP?
Yeah. Church.
Through your church. Share anything about
church.
Church employees.
Yeah.
That's right. So we managed to keep paying our secretary and our fire music directors with the check protection funds that we got.
Thank you for sharing that. I ask because for two reasons. One, how often when talking about a government program have you heard somebody talk about it that positively? Without this program, I would have lost for her church. And second, there are 50,000 small businesses and nonprofits in New Jersey 7 with that exact story. A small fraction of that voting for Democrats, voting for a campaign with me on the ticket but powered by the people, wins this election in November. And that's not just an anti-Trump coalition, that's a coalition that we can hold into 2028 and beyond. And that is so important. After that, I started a nonprofit because I became obsessed with the idea that people could not afford housing. And so I brought 26 US senators together, 13 Democrats, and yes, 13 Republicans. The same Republicans who I had to fight against when I was at the SBA. And they came along because they saw after the fight that I actually knew how to deliver results for their communities too. And so we were able to get funding for 10,000 nurses, teachers, and first responders to own their first homes in the communities that they serve. Look, I'm not running for Congress to learn how it works. I'm running for Congress because I know how to make it work for us. And man, do we need some people in there right now who know what they're doing. It's not the time for training wheels. It's the time for people who know on day one to fight against Donald Trump and stop his agenda, and to deliver for our families, for our communities that really need this funding. So I'll just wrap with this, which is in my family, I grew up with a motto. And people don't always believe me when I say this, but it's true. So around the dinner table, we would say, everything is better in New Jersey.
Yes.
Amen to that, Joseph. It's true, we would say that every night. And it's not because this place is perfect, though, like Joseph, I do believe that it is. It's because my grandparents were born in Austria, in Nazi Germany. They were the only two in their families to survive. The rest of their family were taken by masked men in the streets in a moment, in a feeling that is just like this one. And somehow, by God's good grace, in 1955, they got on a boat and they landed right here in New Jersey. They didn't speak the language, but a community that was just like this wrapped their arms around my grandparents. They taught them the language. They got them a job sweeping floors in the school. They got them a home. They allowed them to raise a family that eventually let me go to the fantastic public schools of New Jersey. And that's how I'm standing in front of you today. I promised, growing up with that story, if there was ever a time where I would feel what they felt, that I would fight back. And look, when a place gives you a shot, like New Jersey gave my family a shot, you never turn your back on it. You stand up and you fight. And that's my promise to you every single day. I'm going to stand up and fight for each and every one of you, your families, your communities, your neighbors, every single person in New Jersey 7, so that everybody can have that feeling like everything is better in New Jersey. Thank you. I'd love to take any and all questions that you all have.